Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Sudden Wealth. I hope you guys are doing very well in this weekend. If you do enjoy the content, please consider dropping that like and subscribe. So, thank you very much for your support. Now, I wanted to address something, which is, as you guys know, I'm paying very close attention to Bitcoin and to Ethereum. Bitcoin because it kind of dictates the market, and Ethereum because since I'm all in on altcoins, those are always to some degree leverage on Ethereum. Meaning, if we get an Ethereum at 20,000 or 25,000, all these altcoins will do, or the great majority will do extremely well. And for what's been happening with my strategy so far in this cycle is that my lottery tickets, so the plays that I'm trying to get in as they are part of cycle one narratives, which means they were impossible to predict during the bear market. But if you capture them correctly, you can have substantial, returns like Andy on Ethereum, like Book of Ethereum, like Brett on Ethereum, so on and so forth. Those can have a very big impact on the returns, and have had so far for me. Now, Pulsechain is still, which are my retirement coins. So Pulsechain, PulseX, X, Hydron, Icosa have been underperforming as they are part of cycle 2 narratives. So meaning they are no longer part of the first cycle of this cycle, the 2023, 2024, 2025, but they are part of the previous one. Now that means they pump at later stages of the bull market. Most likely they won't give you 100x, most likely they won't give you 500x's or anything like that, but I think they should give you a solid 50, 75x. Now, as you guys know, Pulsechain has been, in terms of price performance, not doing so great. However, in terms of fundamentals, how many developers, how many validators, how many apps are being deployed on Pulsechain, the performance of coins on the Pulsechain ecosystem, all those fundamentals have been actually quite good. And I am pretty certain that I've made a correct bet with that ecosystem, with those coins that I just disclosed and that I've disclosed last year. And I do believe that ecosystem will do very well. Now, the question is, why am I talking about it now? Because we are actually not that far away from all-time lows in terms of pricing. And as you guys know, I like to accumulate a lot during down periods. The reason why I'm talking about it right now, it's very simple. I'm talking about it before the pump, because I think that when this ecosystem goes, it will melt faces, and it will catch people completely off guard. And the reason why I'm talking about it right now is because we are actually so early in this, what I believe to be one of the greatest pumps of this cycle, that I'm trying to step aside from being your typical YouTube influencer, which basically, waits for a coin to pump 10x, and then they start talking about it, and their audience already lost the majority of the move. And things that I've been liking to see. So, for example, if you look at the SUI, right, you now have a lot of vesting schedules coming for the VCs, for the insiders. So they are dumping on everybody's heads because they are up, 1,000-fold compared to all the other people, compared to you and me. Pulsechain has no VCs. But the thing is, and I am aware of this, and I've already saw something similar in the comment section, which is people are basically calling it a scam. Pulsechain is finished, blah, 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 these kind of things that, if you guys know anything about me, like to read, because by the time that everybody gets bullish, it's too late. But I get it. There's nothing that I can say right now that will make it look as a smart choice. You need to wait for the green candles to come. Now, the reason why I'm giving this as an example is because when the green candles come and when these coins are performing extremely well, they have no difference from what they are today. That's the key. You see, we all focus on the good things when the chart is green and going up, and then everything is wrong when the chart is red and going down. And I'm just giving this example because I know how the majority of people feel about this, but we'll see who's right on this topic. Speaking about being right, I'd like to address something a little bit different on this video around a couple of things that I've seen. Number one, I watched Harry Dent's video yesterday in which he said, oh, the top is in once again. This is his top call number 55, something like that. And he's giving the same speech as last year, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. Everything's about to collapse. It's going to go down. The S&P is going to go down 85% and the Nasdaq 94%. And Bitcoin will go to 3,200 and gold will go to $900 and all the same thing over and over again. I also watched a debate between Scaramucci and Eric Voorhees and Peter Schiff and this Italian guy, I forgot his name, on Crypto Banter. And I was listening to Peter, and it's the same arguments that he had 11 years ago. There's absolutely no update. Now, what is beyond me is that Peter Schiff manages money for a living. All his funds are down since inception. Think about it. All his funds are losing money in the time period where we had the longest, highest bull market on everything. He managed to find the assets that didn't go up. He's been saying the same things about Bitcoin for about 11 years. No, sorry, more than that actually, because the first time I saw him talk about it was 2012. And his arguments have never updated at all. And the thing is, he talks about things so arrogantly for a guy who managed money for a living. And when he says, oh, I was not wrong, I was just early. No. When you manage money for a living, being early is being wrong. Because if people could have gotten a 500x on something, or a 10 or 100x on something, and they're actually down money today, that is being wrong. Because if that person is 60 or 70, they're finished. Like they could have retired multimillionaires, leave everything for the kids. No, they can't. No, they're probably struggling. And what is puzzling to me is that people that debate him, like it's so easy to debate Peter Schiff. Ask about his returns, since he knows everything about everything. Why doesn't he share his returns to the audience? Number one. So that's the first way you destroy him. Number two is you quote things back at him from himself 10 years ago. Very simple. He and Harry Dent and Robert Kiyosaki, they're all the same. They will always, if you have a debate with them, they will always predict a crash. Because that's what they do. They predict a crash every week, every month, every time they speak out. So the only thing that you need to do is bring a little sheet with a print screen of all the crash calls that they had over the last 12 years. In the case of Harry Dent, you probably need a dossier of 10 pages or whatever. But for Peter Schiff, it's going to be about 3-4 pages. Robert Kiyosaki is going to be 3-4 pages. And you ask him, why are you so arrogant in talking about something when you've been wrong all these times? But nobody does it. And this is a really big disservice because, and I've noticed how him and Peter behave, Harry Dent and Peter Schiff, which is they just present their theories over and over again like they've never said them before, which means that they never get accountability for the times they were wrong. So they will never start a discussion saying, I've been wrong about this, I've said this, 10 times since I'm really sorry, but this time I'm really convinced I'm right. But look, guys, maybe allocate something to the things that I don't like. Maybe I'm wrong, right? No, they just repeat the theory like it's the first time they're saying it over and over again. And the idea, I think, and then this is the funny part, is to actually run, if you will, a Ponzi style social media platform, which is the idea is to get the new listeners in because they don't know what they're getting themselves into as the old ones leave. So, I mean, of course, I'm not accusing anybody of running Ponzi schemes. What I'm saying is that the dynamics look a lot like a Ponzi scheme, in the sense of you have new listeners coming in, old listeners getting out, and you have the new ones replace the old ones. And what they do is they just repeat their theories over and over again, like a little robot. The years go by, but they just repeat it, and it's going to be this summer, next summer, by the end of the year, in 5 years, in 2 years, in 1 year, in 40 years. I mean, it doesn't matter. It's over and over and over and over again. And what I'm urging people that are listening here is also don't listen to me. Like, I make certain number of predictions. I don't make many. I don't make one once a day. I make 5-6 predictions for the year. That's it. Maybe 1 or 2 on longer tenors, just a little bit for fun. That's it. I'm not here predicting, making a new prediction every week. And compare what I've predicted, what has happened, and you tell me if my track record is good or not. Key is do the same with these guys, because for people coming into the space, coming into investing for the first time, what they say makes a lot of sense. Why does it make a lot of sense? Because they've trained it and practiced it over and over and over again. It is designed to make it believable to you. You see, it's very easy to say that, the economy is effed up and those guys are screwing us and that is garbage, and that's all fine. We can all agree that this is all garbage and, it's terrible, blah, blah, blah. The key is, how do we personally profit from it? That's the difficult part. You see, saying that everything is bad is easy. Like, takes no time. There's no argument here. But to actually make it, turn it what you know into your own advantage, that is the key. These people make no money in the market. They make money on selling books, YouTube ad revenue, sponsorships, speaking fees, TV fees, managing funds and collecting fees. This is how they make money. It's not about investing. And I just urge you guys to, when you listen to me, and if I'm making certain predictions, to check my track record. And you compare it to these clowns, and you'll understand exactly what I'm saying. And terrible on the performance of the opponents and on the moderator, who never call these people out. Never ask them a simple question. Hey, Peter, you sell funds for a living, right? Okay, what is your track record? What are your returns? We just came out of the biggest, longest bull market in history, or we are in the middle of it. You claim to predict and to know everything what nobody knows. So what is your track record? I'm expecting you're actually at least doubling the S&P 500, because you're so smart, you predict so much, and you charge such a higher fee. I'm sure you're doing incredibly well. So why don't you tell us about it? That's it. You destroy him on the spot. But unfortunately, this is also a little game on YouTube. YouTube finance is not an alternative to the media. It's the same concept. That guy has a cult. Peter Schiff, Harry Dent, they have all these followers. They love this kind of fear corn, right? And they know that. And they know they get views from it. So they throw him easy questions because they want them to come back to their channel to bring more views. So they're never going to make the hard questions that the audience should be aware of, that would be beneficial for the audience. No, they keep bringing them in order to basically get more and more views for their channels and F their followers. This is how they behave. That's why it's so refreshing and fine for a person like me, who doesn't need your money, who doesn't charge you anything, who doesn't sell you private books, private groups, etc. I mean, with the predictions that I got right the last year and beginning of this year, it would be so easy for me to set up a private group, trade with me, copy my trades, whatever. It would be so easy to do. But I refuse to do it because I don't need your money to survive. I do YouTube because I like it and because I want to broadcast my journey. That's it. I'm not planning on retiring thanks to you guys giving me money every month or week or whatever. Sorry guys, this topic really pisses me off quite a bit, but I do hope you guys have some nice weekend, and don't forget, drop that like and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one.